Learn the secrets of success. Exclusive insights and information from the experts. Tag Radio. Ready to let your mind go wherever technology leads? Then tag, you're it. Tag Radio. Here today. Imagine tomorrow. Whether you are expanding globally or mass collaborating virtually, in 2008, more than ever it's going to be all about the ROI, as in show me the money, then show me the results. Seed capital to seeing ahead the risk and reward in next year's stock market. What are the big financial concerns for Atlanta tech companies for the new year? Greetings, everyone. It's Christmas Eve, Tuesday, December 24th, 2007, and this is Tech Talk with Technology Association President Tino Mantella. As you prepare to make merry, the Tech Talk takes a look into the new year to see if it's, going to be naughty or nice for CEOs, CFOs, and CIOs as Tino speaks with top 4 accounting firm KPMG Advisory Practice Managing Partner Michael Carpenter. It's all about next year's weather conditions. That is, whether it's going to be a bad one, a good one, or a great year for technology companies in the Southeast, and especially here in the ATL. Michael was an IT advisory partner conducting accounting information system control assessments as part of KPMG's annual audit. With nearly a quarter-century of experience advising top tech execs and companies on information risk mitigation, security, and controls, Michael has been a key advisor in all phases of numerous systems, implementations, from resource to final implementation. Good year? Bad year? How do you know? One way is to ask the experts, as Tino wishes all of TAG's board members and sponsors a Merry Christmas. And KPMG Southeast Advisory Managing Partner Michael Carpenter tells Tech Talk the prospects for a Happy New Year.
Mike, thanks for joining me on Tech Talk.
Hey, it's a pleasure, Tino. It's always great to interact with the technology community.
Well, we appreciate having you on, especially towards the end of the year here. Why don't we start out by just talking a little bit about how you saw the tech companies do this year from a financial aspect, and then what's the biggest financial issues and concerns for Atlanta technology companies moving forward into 2008?
Well, I think it's financing. I think it's what are their big customers going to do, in the sense the larger IT organizations or the larger businesses here, what direction are they going in? All of our companies are, they're not Atlanta-centric, they're global, right?
Right.
Where is the long-awaited IPTV going, and how does that pull our technology organizations into it, whether it be the IT organization for the large telcos of the world and cable companies and the media companies, or is it the organizations that are building devices and software to serve those companies? We're going in. We have global supply chains. There's a lot of technology that can facilitate that. Organizations are not doing technology for technology's sake. They're trying to unlock or create business value. So how does it help us collaborate with our partners? There's lots of interesting dynamics going on that, it presents concern, but it presents huge opportunities as well.
In the last couple of years, you felt it as well there, but there's been a major increase in acquisitions of Georgia's technology companies. Has that impacted whether companies are part of that or not? Have you seen a change in terms of mergers and acquisitions and how people are investing and looking even to exit?
Well, good question. I think the other parts of our business touch the PE firms and then the strategic buyers as well. And I think it's probably the PE firms are going to have to hold their current investments longer. I think the shift in how they invest, I don't think we can tell yet, although the banking relationships I have indicate there's still lots of deals in the pipeline. Valuations are different and they're harder to close because financing is more difficult. The longer hold, I'm sure, has some implications. Liquidity, probably for the startup, liquidity is, I'm sure, a problem.
Major challenge, I would think.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think we know how foreign sovereign funds are going to play in the U.S. We've seen a huge activity in financial services.
Right.
So that's yet to be understood where that plays in Atlanta technology, for instance.
Well, you talked about global and the global economy, and that brings to mind whatever we call it: global outsourcing, global sourcing. Are companies in '08, are they going to continue to try to wring out some of the expense through finding more efficient ways for staffing, or you see the trend changing at all in that area?
We interact with a lot of organizations trying to go offshore, but for the latter half of '07 and my thinking on '08, there's people pulling it back.
That's what I've seen.
And it's been a more difficult management challenge than I think it's been expected. The capabilities in certain parts are getting better. So that's a mixed bag. I don't see big offshoring right now at our client base. Big new offshoring I do not see. I see more pulling back than anything.
Okay. How can today's technology organizations continue to be reliable, efficient, and responsive? I mean, that's the gazillion-dollar question, right? So
I'm going to respond as if you're the technology organization within a big company, and then talk about the broader market. I think what you have to get closer and closer to the business to be more understanding of how fast the business leaders have to change. So we've got to change in technology. We've got to change our internal processes to be more responsive. That means investment in people. It means investment in technology as well. So the business has to help us, and we jointly form a business case to get more investment in the technology side of the house. I think that there's an implication in the market of I have to get more partners outside of my current business to move the ball down the field as a technology organization. I think that presents a great opportunity for Atlanta technology companies to show how they can collaborate with larger organizations to create value in the supply chain, to create value in other business processes, whether it be with a device or software, communication, something. There's lots of opportunities to play.
Talk a little bit about what you see in terms of IT performance meeting business requirements, and if they're not, what are the inhibitors?
From a business point of view and the CFO's point of view in the large companies, there is always the skepticism of IT performance. I think the IT organizations have gotten much better and much more responsive, but it's still incumbent on us as technology professionals and management in those organizations to demonstrate that we're willing to be measured and that our measures drive behavior that helps the business and is responsible in a financial sense. I think we're getting there in general, but as the capital budgets tighten up, I think we're going to be challenged even further. From an outside organization trying to sell into all of our companies, which is where the middle tier, I guess, of Atlanta technology plays, the ROI has got to be more and more demonstratable and quicker. Even as we're a professional services organization, our ROI has to be clearly demonstrable and quicker to move the ball forward.
So basically they're competing with every other department, and it's going to be tighter, and they're going to have to show measurable results to get the kind of resources they've gotten in the past?
I think that's well put, yes. And it applies internally and externally in the technology space.
I guess if there is some good news, we do a State of the Industry report here with TAG, and we've seen that there has been a little bit of an uptick in terms of investment in total in IT, and I don't know if that's in areas of virtualization or the particular areas you see where there are significant investments.
Most of the play that we've seen here locally for us is the convergence of media and content with technology and how technology gets how that content knowledge gets distributed, whether it's on a network internal to a corporation or to a consumer. And there's been a dramatic investment in that, and both just resources and dollars. Other investments have been in global supply chains. Then we see, I don't know, the GEs of the world trying to build up capabilities in India and other markets so that they can get value out of outsourcing arrangements, for instance.
The area of stocks has been interesting for the last number of years. I assume KPMG gets involved a bit with that. I mean, is that settled down now? It seemed to be the talk the last few years in terms of
I think it's substantially settled down. There was the new auditing standard, AS5, gives the people internal to organizations responsible for controls and the auditing firms a little more rational filter on what's important. A risk-based approach kind of drives you back to auditing before SOX. So the cost and effort will be of the external audit will be significantly reduced. I don't believe the importance of controls internally will be de-emphasized. Perhaps the rigor of external testing will be less. You know, there's reliance on management reports and management testing, and so there won't be double testing, which I think a lot of IT organizations in particular have experienced.
Yeah, I think they felt a lot of pain, and I think your message is great news for a lot of our people who will be listening in.
Well, I hope so.
Let's end, Mike, by just talking a little bit about KPMG, what you guys are doing in the area, what types of services you provide, and finally, what sort of companies you typically work with.
Well, I mean, KPMG is a Big Four global firm, audit, tax, and advisory. I'm responsible for the advisory side of the business, and we're working from transaction services, which is financing, acquisitions, carve-outs, through providing internal audit services. What has really been working for us is IT strategy, performance, and governance, trying to work through these measures and help IT organizations be more efficient, and then working with the CFOs to understand their agenda and try to improve their insights both to the business, to IT, to other parts of senior management, everywhere from ERP systems to consolidation systems, business intelligence, tactical program management, performance management, lots of projects that are enabling companies to make progress.
And are you looking forward to, what sort of year are you looking forward to in 2008 in respect to the company?
I think 2008 is going to be a good year, not a great year. The professional service organizations have had 4 or 5 years of pretty significant growth, lots of reasons for that. Private equity merger and acquisitions was a big part of that. Unless we all see that calming down, which means for the big firms that means a good year instead of a great year. It remains to be seen if the credit crunch really affects the consumer industrial side of the business dramatically yet. It'll be different. That's all we can.
All right. Well, I've been talking with Mike Carpenter, who's the Area Managing Partner of KPMG's Southeast Area Advisory Practice. So, Mike, thank you for joining me on Tech Talk today.
Thanks for having me. Really enjoyed it.